And welcome back to the Hiking Zaddies podcast. We have finished work early because it was a Friday and I was on a skateboard today because Vic took the car and someone offered me a lift home at about 1 o'clock and I was like, fuck yeah, that'll save me about an hour in travel and I get to be home 2 hours earlier and do this. So, happy Friday. The sun is shining but it's still 16 degrees. It's still pretty cold. But we've gone for a walk, Tess and I. And there's a lot of unhealthy or weird looking people walking around at the moment, which I thought was funny. It could be like the end of winter and everyone's like coming out of hibernation, like ready to see that, like getting the first taste of sun on their skin. So everyone's like probably looking their grossest right now. And maybe feeling their grossest as well. So everyone's like coming out of the winter depression. But it's still good vibes on the street. But just, I mean, there's a lot of crazies around, and you just get stuck in conversations with a bunch of them. I was lying down on the grass, fucking having a good time at the park. Tess was running around with some other dog, so I could just close my eyes and sit under a tree and just relax. And then I get woken up to 3 pugs going nuts on my faces. I was like, what the fuck? I had no idea what it was. Because I was like pretty much asleep. Like I was away somewhere else. I forgot I was at the park. And then just like getting absolutely just slobbered all over. And then I opened my eyes and it's just bright blue sky. And these 3 black pugs just... fuck! Mate, they literally look like Stitch from Lilo and Stitch. It's just, the only reason they look like that is because of humans. We have to remember that. Same as greyhounds. The only reason why they're like, we just walked past a proper greyhound, the one that hadn't been abused. You could tell, like it looked like a pretty good dog, very confident and nice, but fucking massive, man. Holy shit, they get so big. That, like it is a horse. It's nearly a horse, and its face is so thin. So their brain must be pretty small as well. Compared to like a proper wolf, like what the dogs used to be. Like imagine a proper canine and dingo. Like their brains are pretty normal, they're a little bit smaller than a human's, but they're still pretty, not bad. But imagine a pug's like, its face has been squashed in over years of genetic manipulation. Like humans have been manipulating the breeding paths of dogs, which is pretty fucked. We should stop that. Pugs should be cancelled, but I didn't not like waking up to 3 pugs fucking going nuts on my face. It was pretty funny. They're very cute and they've got a lot of personality. So I love small dogs. And I love the pugs that are alive, but we should probably ease off breeding them. Hot take of the week, and I've got plenty more to come. But anyway, I got stuck in this conversation with this lady who was walking around with one of those walking sticks, but you can sit down on it, the double one with the seat in the middle. And she was vibrant, eh? She was like, "Hey, you going? My name's Jill. Fucking this, that." And no joke. It's got nothing to do with the story. But her boobs were long as. Like, she's an old lady, but she was just letting them hang. And they were fucking longer than my fibula. They were massive. They were seriously probably about 500 mil in length. So good on her. That's a wonderful job. Good stuff. But anyway, she was a big old lady. She just had, bits sagging everywhere. And she was super nice. Just loved, she was full of energy. But it was funny, she got into a state of giving me health advice. And I was like, is it wrong for me to not take this advice? Because you should probably take health advice from people that look healthy. And, she probably didn't look she's probably got genetic. She had something going on, which is not her fault and probably not her. Maybe she would know a lot about health, trying to combat a genetic thing that was put onto her against her will. What were her? She told me not to eat meat. She told me to go vegan, which I was vegan for like a good 6 months to a year, I reckon, with, the occasional red meat when I would go home to mum and dad. Because mummy's dinner, I will eat it all the time. Like, you can't say no to mum's fucking cooking. You're insane if you say no to your mum's cooking. And yeah, anyway, I was like, oh, do I take this advice? What advice was it? Yeah, no meat. You got to eat meat. Like, we're at this point of our evolution where we still need meat. Maybe in fucking 1,000 years time we can evolve, or 500 years time we can move into a state where we don't need that calorie and nutrition dense, nutrition and mineral, all the good shit, all the nutritious, nutrition dense food, which is meat. It's like the quickest way to get all the nutrients, especially the liver, is that why orcas fuck with great whites and they just eat the liver? They just get like the really healthy part, and then they fuck off. It's like us having an acai bowl. An orca is eating a great white's liver is like us waking up on a Saturday morning after a big Friday night after the fucking Blues win, the fucking G, and then going to get an acai bowl. That's a great white's liver in my eyes. Anyway, I feel like I'm pretty healthy at the moment. I'm feeling pretty good, pretty energetic. Gym 3 times a week, yoga twice a week. I'm not running at all, which I should be doing. Usually I would be playing Wednesday night futsal, and I haven't done that for a while because I hurt my foot. But yeah, you got to get the cardio in. And then my food, I've been trying to cook with only organic. So all my money, like I owe Dad nearly 3K for a new clutch that he borrowed my car when we went to Thailand. And in the first day, the clutch went, so he had to fix it, and he got a heavy duty clutch because I asked him to. And I owe him 3K for that. And it's been fucking, 2 months? So anyway, I've got debts to pay. If Carlton win tonight, it'll help me out with my debts. And what the fuck am I talking about? Oh yeah, I'm spending heaps of money eating organic. Yeah, it's expensive. But then I went to Coles the other day and I got like a huge meal ready to cook up for the house, and it was probably like $20 less. It was $80, while at the organic shop I was paying $100 for a full meal, like full of the really good stuff, and the premium organic stuff. Oh man, Little Hen in Carlos Street in Balaclava. I'm in there every day. But yeah, like Coles is expensive as well, so you may as well just spend the extra $20 and get organic food. Organic veggies, you don't have to eat as much food if it's organic. Your tummy, when you eat the food, knows pretty quickly how many nutrients is in this fucking, this dump of food going into it. It does the maths pretty quickly, and it goes, all right, there's a lot of nutrients here. This is going to be enough for us to break down and have the energy for the next 24 hours or whatever. Let's tell the brain, oh, we're not hungry down here anymore. And it cuts off that. So you don't eat as much. Like, when you have pasta with a pretty bland sauce sort of thing, like tomatoes and it's good, it's healthy, but it's not, you don't have all of the nutrients. Your tummy is like, more. I can eat 3 bowls easily anytime we have like a carb-rich food. Anyway, but yeah, organic. You actually eat less, and so that $100 of a lot of food that you've bought could last you a lunch or 2 and some leftovers the next day. So not a bad investment as well. And you're investing in yourself because you feel good. Like imagine all of the pesticides, the shit that they're spraying on the Coles veggies just to keep them clean or get bugs off them and shit like that. And all they're trying to kill all the weeds. That's where the pesticides are, I think. So anyway, they're spraying shit to kill all the weeds. Obviously not good for you if it kills animals, plants, and animals probably. So you really don't want that in your body. It's the same as like, what you are literally what you eat. Like what you eat goes through the mouth, becomes every single atom and molecule in your body all the time. So imagine if you're eating poison, you've got poison in you, and things aren't vibrating at the right frequency. Right? They're all misaligned, mistuned, and that would be where cancer comes from. Because cancer they are cells that have they've forgotten what they're supposed to do. They're cells that they keep reproducing because they've still got that innate gene to reproduce, but there's no need for them. Like they haven't been assigned like a task. They've forgotten their task. So they're vibrating out of order. They're vibrating wrong and not in sync with the body. And then that's cancer. I think. I'm a stonemason. Don't fucking, What are we talking about? Oh, yeah. So, yeah, do you take health advice from people that don't look that healthy? I don't know. It's up to you. I do find it weird how some doctors and nurses don't look that healthy as well. And by looking healthy, the weight thing is a completely different thing. I think you can tell in the face and like the energy that someone has behind them. I feel like that's like proper health. Because someone could be skinny and be unhealthy, definitely. But I think it's about an amount of energy that someone has. I mean, she had a lot of energy. She just like didn't look great from the outside. But she was fucking hilarious. And she had more energy than most people that I've talked to today. But yeah, imagine like in Vic's nursing classes, I've gone to pick her up, and there's some big people coming out of those classes sometimes with like Maccas and just, a lot of junk food. And they're going into a class about health. Like you're teaching people how to their whole study is based around someone's health, and they're not doing it themselves. So that makes me wonder, do they really know what health is and what being healthy is? Because like I'm talking about some very big people who have been nurses, and that's going to be pretty hard. Like nurses are on their feet a lot, which will help with their health. So that's good. Anyway, that's my unhealthy rant for the week. Yeah, I don't know. Health. What else do I want to talk about? Russell Brand. Oh dear. Russell Brand, you are done. He's literally done. But I wonder how long people cancel him for. Like, does he go to prison? I don't know what he's done, but I'm pretty sure it's rape, which is not good. Got to cancel him, obviously. But yeah, if you are in the comment section of any posts of Russell Brand, you would see that a lot of the comment section is like, I back this man 100%. And they're all saying that it's a conspiracy, because you have to look at who the man is now, because all these accusations are from 10 years and plus ago, like more than 10 years ago. But they're pretty bad. So we're looking at these, we go, okay, these are bad, these have to be condemned. There has to be consequence for these actions, because they weren't dealt with at that time, so they need to be dealt with now. However, the person that he is now, I would find hard to believe that he has done anything really bad in the last 5 years, because he's a different person to that person back then. That's what I believe, just from like listening to a few of his YouTubes and his podcast. His podcast is really good. The man has an amazing vocabulary, and he has said some very wise things, and he's got a lot of good ideas. He's probably one of the guys calling for a revolution the most. You know, he's like the loudest. Him, Julian Assange, they're like kind of on par. However, so that's why a lot of people are like, he's speaking out against mainstream media, pretty much every big company that's fucking over a lot of different countries. We're talking about this guy has been the talking piece, the spokesperson against like a lot of the big boys up top who have killed and massacred. You know, we're talking about governments creating wars just to sell weaponry, grab the tax money out from the public system into war, which funnels straight back into whoever owns arms, the arms race, like whoever's making all the machinery and all that sort of shit. So money's going from public to war, straight to the rich cunts, and then that's how they're getting money out of the public system. So he's trying to that's only one of the thousands of things that he talks about. So recently he's been pretty entertaining and quite a important person, important archetype that the world has kind of needed. However, he's a piece of shit, or he was a piece of shit, and it's real, because who the fuck is shocked about this? No one's shocked. I didn't start listening to Russell Brand because I thought that this man was good his whole life. Like, his books are pretty much about I used to be a piece of shit. I used to be a drug addict. I used to be a sex addict. When I heard that, I was like, this guy's done some bad things. And he needs to pay the consequence. So it's all come out. And Daniel Sloss, good man, has the best comedian of all time, has come forward to help out a lot of the whispers that were going on in the comedy scene in the UK, especially, with a lot of females not being comfortable with Russell Brand over the years, him being in the same green room as them. And so they would pull out of shows, be like, I'm not doing this if Russell Brand's there, because he was a piece of fucking shit. Anyway, it's a good lesson for all of us to see, to go through this. Like, everyone deserves a second chance, obviously, but there needs to be a price to pay for negative things that you've done to people. If you've hurt people, there needs to be an exchange of energy back to the community, to the victims. We need to look after those people, and by looking at, there's got to be consequence. But he said, so he's denying it as well. So it's all going to get messy, obviously. Interesting stuff. Does the conversation of separate the art from the artist come into play here? Because his art being his podcasty YouTube stuff, and all the conspiracy theories and a lot of proof, pretty good journalism if you look at it that way. He does a lot of the fear mongering as well. He falls into that. I guess someone has to. But he's a spokesperson for a lot of people, and that's all I've got to say on that subject. What else has been going on? The fucking Baggers! Let's fucking go! Carlton, the Blues, the fucking Navy Blue. This is the first time in my life that I have been able to look after my mental health and be a proud football supporter. And it's fucking awesome. I'm not going to Brisbane. I actually had the opportunity to go, but I owe my dad a clutch. So I'm not in this so they've got to win. They've got to bring it back to Melbourne. So and always has been dropped harsh. We love you always. We love the passion. We love the effort. And it's stiff, it's harsh, but we trust in Vossi. There might be a tactic up front. Who knows? I don't think it's a punishment. I don't think you can be punished because you've been fucking doing a good job, mate. But yeah, the Baggers. So I played soccer my whole life, and I've never supported a soccer team because I went to the A-League as a kid and I was a bit scared by the fucking crowd. I don't know. The whole like patriotism was a bit fucking like, I don't really like anyone here that much. But now Andrew Postecoglou is a Tottenham coach. So one of the big clubs in America, in fucking England, in the Premier League. And he's doing well. I think they're second. So we are huge Ange fans and we are huge Tottenham fans. And that I'm talking about the whole country. I don't care if you're a Liverpool. You need to have a soft spot for Tottenham right now. Have a spot for them in your hearts. Because that'll be a sick story if they win. Imagine that. That'd be fucked. That'd be fucking crazy. You'd have the women's soccer in Australia and us just having like the best fucking women's World Cup ever. Like everyone just got so behind it. And then an Australian wog dude from fucking South Melbourne comes into the big stage and just obliterates the league. That'd be incredible. So everyone's a Tottenham fan. I don't care if you've ever watched a game of soccer. Tottenham is your team in England. We love Tottenham. My station's Tottenham that I got off today. In the West. The West. Footscray. We like Footscray, but there's a lot of funny like stories that come out of there. Like everyone's like, Footscray's cool. Footscray's cool. But yeah, my mum went there the other day and she got punched in the face. That's a true story. Tom Carroll's mum got punched in the face in Footscray. But bad things have happened in Footscray. I heard of a gutter stomp in front of a friend's bar. Not cool. Two things that you've learned today. Russell Brand, not cool. Gutter stomps, not cool. Anyway, what are we talking about? The Baggers! Let's fucking go, mate. Honestly. Anyway, that's what, we've got to go. The vibe at the Carlton game at the G against Melbourne last week was a vibe of beautiful. It was like heaven on earth. After the game, everyone's just high-fiving, random cunts, just hugging it out. Everyone's just in awe, in disbelief. And I think the reason why we've done this well, and same as GWS, is because there hasn't been any expectation behind each game. Each game's surely they're probably going to lose, but we'll see what happens. So it's like, we're not putting all the fate into Carlton being like, must win, must. At every game that I've been to, it's like, you better fucking win or else. And if you put that much pressure into, that much vibe into something, you're trying to control the simulation, and the simulation's just going to fuck it and go the other way. You can't control it. You can, the way this, you ready for the fucking, the formula to manifest something? You have to hold the energy and be as if it's already true. So imagine Carlton have already won against Brisbane at the Gabba, the only team to beat Brisbane at the Gabba this year. So fucking hold that feeling, hold that thought, imagine it, fucking hell, that'd be sick, incredible. And then completely drop it, send it out to the universe. You can't do anything about it. You're sitting at home doing a podcast on a Friday night, on a Friday arvo. You're a fucking loser. You can't do anything. You can stretch pretty good now because of yoga, but you haven't played soccer for a bit. All you can do now is sit on that couch and just watch and enjoy. See what happens. So don't be too involved in assuming what has to happen in the game. Go with the flow and be okay with losing. Once you've completely let go of all assumption and you let the universe grab that energy and see what's going to happen and see what they can do with it, see how they can, all right, we're going to try all probabilities going towards this. Let's put a lot of energy behind this. It'll fucking sort itself out. You just got to trust, and that's it. That's all you got to do. It's that easy. Less assumption is good, but hold the energy of what you want to happen, and then just fucking drop it. So anyway, how long have I gone for? Is that enough? What else do I want to talk about? Is there anything else? Anyone got any questions? Oh yeah, something else about the baggers. I was on the Blue Abroad YouTube live stream last night. This was the first YouTube live stream that I've just listened to or watched ever. It's so fucking funny. It's just, 3 dudes having a chat, pretty much all yelling, all excited about Carlton. And then the comment section just going nuts, and the people, and they call it the chat. We have a name, the audience, and we are the chat. And Pommy's, so one of the biggest Carlton content creators is some Pommy dude, and he's fully English. I forgot who he goes for in the Premier League, but he's always talking about the Premier League in relation to Carlton and how the supporters are over there, and he's fucking awesome, man. He's got life advice, and you can see him turn into spirituality as Carlton are winning more. More of these content creators are you know what? I don't believe in God, but there's fucking something. They talk about astrology the other day, and curses and stuff. Anyway, good. It's a good little community on the internet. Bunch of Carlton nerds. It's great, good content. And they were giving out a free ticket. And so they did everyone enrolled, and then they did spin the wheel thing, and it landed on this dude. It called up a couple people first, but a kid would answer. And they're we can't give it to a kid. Some guy who went for the dogs won it, can't give it to him. Anyway, they got it to a dude. Sorry, I need some water. It landed on a guy, 17 years old, and he's got a trial exam the next day, which is today right now. And there's no planes left, so they needed him to find a car. I think he needed to find a car ride up there, so he needed to find someone with a car. And he can't drive, he's not 18. And he's got no money. He's got $500 in his account. He's got no other money for accommodation or anything else. And he won it. And then everyone in the chat was we need to get this guy there. This cunt needs to fucking go there and go to that. I think there was a corporate drinks beforehand. We need to get this 17-year-old kid there at that event and in the crowd. He's won it. We need to get him there. So people were chipping in $10 here and there. And anyway, he's going, hopefully. I think he has. And that's all I've got to say. That was a shit story. But go the Baggers. Bye.